Hi. One of the most common mix-ups happens with the INFP and the INFJ, although they're both caring, creative idealists. The INFP and INFJ have some telling differences that make it easier to discern which type is which. So if you're having trouble determining whether you or a friend is an INFJ or an INFP, look no further. Here's how to tell them apart. Here are 7 differences between INFP and INFJ personalities. Number 1. The approach to anger. It should be noted that both of these personality types tend to stay away from conflict, and will often put their own issues aside to avoid any disruptions. The INFJ personality does not like to express that they are angry. However, when they are more likely to deal with their anger privately. Not only do they worry their anger may not be justified, but they also fret over how their anger may affect those around them. When it comes to the INFP, their anger is also rarely shown. Like the INFJ, they do their best to avoid any type of conflict. But if it does arrive, it is most likely for them to react. They need to feel like an honest injustice has been made. Unlike the INFJ, they may lash out under severe circumstances, but it is rarely a full-blown scene. Number 2. What they read. Generally speaking, the INFP personality will prefer reading fictional stories, and the INFJ will prefer to read nonfiction. For example, many say that the INFP will prefer fiction over nonfiction based on the idea that they prefer to look at the human condition, that is birth, death, love, growth, etc. They want to read to what they can relate to, whether it be the highs or lows of the characters they read. The INFJ, on the other hand, is said to prefer nonfiction because they are more interested in observing and noticing patterns within our society. The INFJ tends to analyze the world around them, whereas the INFP personality tends to be more artistic. Number 3. Their perception of emotional significance. To some, the way they evaluate emotional significance can come off as selfish. However, it is important to remember that an INFP values authenticity greatly, and they are not willing to do something that will jeopardize their authenticity. On the other hand, the INFJ personality type is more attuned to the emotions of others around them. They will approach emotional significance based on what they believe will be the best for the greater good, or at least for the people it will directly affect. This means that they might sacrifice their own emotions if it means that the group as a whole will benefit. Number 4. Their approach to ideas. The INFJ personality is more likely to focus on one idea or topic when compared to the INFP. This is because they are much more interested in learning all there is to know about one topic or idea, allowing for extreme focus and dedication. This focus allows the INFJ to make informed decisions quicker as well. In terms of INFP versus INFJ difference, when compared to the INFJ, an INFP might seem more indecisive. This personality type is receptive to new possibilities and outcomes, so it is likely for them to jump from idea to idea. Number 5. How they approach friendships. INFPs tend to struggle even in small friendship circles. Despite being with close friends, INFPs may encounter feeling awkward and unable to truly reveal who they are. This does not mean that they don't appreciate and love their friends, but sometimes an INFP is best left alone. On the other hand, the INFJ thrives in their small circles. They hold their friends very dear and show they care by giving helpful advice. Individuals will be typically drawn to the kindness of their character. Number 6. How they approach nostalgia. Like any other individual, These two personality types tend to become nostalgic at one point or another. INFPs tend to relish looking back at what they have experienced and the emotions that they felt at monumental points in their life, as it might be expected. Especially after looking at how these personalities approach emotional significance. Although being nostalgic isn't a terrible thing, if an INFP dwells on the past too much, they can become caught up in it. In contrast, the INFJ personality tends to be less nostalgic. They enjoy reminiscing but won't be found dwelling on the past. Number 7. The need for understanding and validation. With an INFP, they look to being validated rather than being understood by others. This means that an INFP is hurt if they are not being accepted the way they want to. INFPs value authenticity, and when their intentions are not being perceived as good, this is when the personality type is affected. As for the INFJ personality type, they prefer to be understood rather than validated. They also prefer to understand any situation presented to them. They prefer to avoid anything that will upset them, and a method to prevent that is to fully assess any situation. This personality type is not concerned with how people view their ideas, but would rather have people understand the motives for their ideas. As it is apparent, the two personality types have different perceptions of how others should react to their intentions. The INFJ would rather have understanding, and the INFP would much rather prefer validation for their own peace. Although subtle, the difference is significant. So what do you think? Tell me in the comments, and do not forget to subscribe, like and share the video with your loved ones. I suggest you watch this video, you will like it.